Coming up on DC News Now at noon.
Excessive heat warning in effect for the DMV. How long will it last? I'll let you know. Coming up.
Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace.
Mixed reaction after the U.S. strikes Iranian nuclear sites. We're following the latest. Plus,
the Department of Homeland Security issuing a national terrorism advisory after the U.S.'s strikes on Iran. How local officials are responding next.
Also, if you're on the move in the DMV, Metro is making some major changes. Learn more about the extended services. Marriage ceremonies are expensive enough. Don't break the bank on your honeymoon. Stretching your dollar with some tips to have a memorable time on a budget.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. It is hot. It is humid in the DMV, and meteorologist Scott Sumner joined us now with the latest check on the forecast. Scott, it is wicked out there, my friend.
As hot as red as my tie is outside. Yeah, that's how it's going to be flaming out there. Scorching hot across the area during the course of not just this afternoon, but going into tomorrow as well. Almost a carbon copy of what you're going to expect today. We have extreme heat warnings in effect till 9 o'clock for all the counties there, shaded in that maroon-like color, with heat indices up towards to about 110 degrees. My goodness, we haven't seen these type of numbers in a long time. And yeah, it really, you have to go well out towards the west and some of the highest of elevations to even escape some of this excessive heat. But you can do that. Certainly above 4,000 feet, that's where your cooler air is. Now, on top of the extreme heat warning that we have, in fact, we have areas that are under a heat advisory here from orange to Culpeper. A slight disparity in the numbers, a little bit lower than the 110 that you see in the warning area, but still nonetheless, hot is hot. So again, we have a DMV first warn day for us. Stay hydrated, try to reduce outdoor activities, and wear light colored clothing as best you can there. As far as the live cam, you can see again, got that little bit of a hazy sunshine look to it. 94 degrees is what the temperature is outside right now. We'll talk about heat indices for this afternoon coming up in my main weather.
All right, Scott, thank you for sharing those important reminders. Well, the United States bombed Iran, hitting 3 nuclear sites over the weekend. This all started after Israel bombed Iran in a preemptive strike about a couple of weeks ago. Israel says that the strike was to prevent Iran from developing a nuclear weapon. The two countries have been trading strikes ever since. This is the first time that the U.S. has gotten involved, directly involved. That's right, President Trump saying that he would weigh involvement in the coming weeks. The president speaking on the objective of the attacks.
Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace.
Well, President Trump went on to say that the future attacks may be coming to Iran. Iran reacting to the strike, saying that, quote, the U.S. has itself launched a dangerous war against Iran. The United Nations is closely monitoring the situation. Their nuclear watchdog will be holding an emergency meeting today. Well, D.C. officials are taking precautions after the Department of Homeland Security issues an advisory warning of a heightened threat environment across the country after the United States bombed, again, those 3 Iranian nuclear sites. Our Candace Cole is outside of MPD headquarters with more on that advisory and also local response.
DHS has issued a national terrorism advisory in effect until September 22nd. This comes after the United States joined in Israel's military campaign against Iran with unprecedented direct attacks without Congress's approval. In response, Iran has vowed retaliation. According to the advisory, there are no credible threats at this time, but they warn of the possibility of low-level cyber attacks against U.S. networks by so-called pro-Iranian hacktivists. Now, DHS also warns of a possible increase of lone wolf attacks here on the homeland if Iranian leadership issues a religious ruling calling for retaliatory violence. They also warn of anti-Semitic or anti-Israel sentiment possibly fueling individual attacks as well. In response, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser says she's been briefed on coordinated efforts between D.C. and federal law enforcement. She says they're monitoring intelligence together and calling for people to stay vigilant. And MPD says there's no credible threat to the district at this time, but they're upping their presence at religious institutions across the city. And of course, the rule of thumb here is if you see something, say something. Call 911 in case of an emergency. And if you'd like to report any suspicious activity, you can do so by visiting iwatch.dc.gov. Reporting in Northwest, Candace Cole, DC News Now.
All right, Candace, thank you. Several other local police departments are increasing their presence around places of worship. Several enforcement agencies, including Fairfax, Montgomery, and Anne Arundel counties, took to social media to share their local response, despite no known threats in our region. And we take a look at your screen, you can see that some of the demonstrators outside the White House, protesters speaking out against the attacks on Iran and against the collaboration with the Israeli government. President Trump calling the attack successful in an attempt to stop Iran again from having a nuclear weapon. One protester tells us that she believes the strikes are built on lies and that a diplomatic approach should have been taken.
President Trump has lied to the American people and he's lied to the Iranians about his seriousness with diplomacy. You cannot bomb your way into the negotiation table. There was a pathway that was peaceful and diplomatic, and he destroyed that last night.
Republican lawmakers split on the strike, with many saying that it is an act of war and should have been approved by Congress. Well, also happening today, advocates are meeting with representatives to discuss the needs of the trans community. As part of Pride Month, Trans Unity Coalition is helping create relationships with lawmakers. Today's event coming as Congress returns to session. Last week, they held a rally outside of the Capitol and a march to the White House to advocate for the trans community. Developing now, a man was shot on the same block where D.C. police were actively investigating another shooting. The shootings happened on Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue near Malcolm X Avenue in Congress Heights. Police were called to investigate the first shooting around 6:45 p.m. Then they found a man and a 16-year-old boy shot. Both were taken to the hospital. Then police later responded to the sounds of gunshots on that same block. A man was found shot, also taken to the hospital. Police are investigating whether the shootings are connected. Developing now, D.C. police say that 2 men were killed in a shooting in the Kingman Park neighborhood in Northeast. This happening Sunday morning. Police in the area reportedly heard gunshots coming from 19th and D Streets. That's when they found the men shot and not breathing. 30-year-old Quanzay Lynch and 41-year-old Courtney Burley died there. Right now, police don't have anyone in custody. If you have any information, you're asked to give them a call. Well, it's been just over a month since Montgomery County began its summer task force, and it's a summer initiative meant to get drunk drivers off the roads. And since the effort began, police have made more than 350 traffic stops, almost 50 DUI arrests. The task force will be out until the end of July. Some big changes are coming to Metro. MATA says that it's extending weekend times by an hour in the morning and at night. Our Max Marcel explains why.
If you were one of the many people stuck in the awful red line congestion on Wednesday because of a signal error, well, the latest news from Metro is a flip of the script.
The lines were incredibly busy, and I just decided to get out and walk at Van Ness and catch an Uber about 4 blocks away from the Metro.
Madeline was one of those stuck commuters late to the office on Wednesday and now is one of many Red Line riders excited for the new changes.
An extra minute can make all the difference if you're running late, and there's been a lot of congestion in the mornings and in the afternoons on the Metro, so I think an extra minute would be very well received.
That change is not the only one. Metro announcing that weekend hours are extending an hour earlier in the morning, so now 6 a.m., and an hour later at night, 2 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday mornings.
I sell flowers over there, so I come up here on the weekend to do my flowers, and if I can get here extra hour earlier, that gives me time to set up.
A chance to be even more productive in the mornings and have another option to get home safely after a late night.
It just means that we can stay out later, we can go dancing a little bit longer, and enjoy a little bit more of what DC has to offer.
That was our Max Marcilla reporting. Our thanks to him. And if you want to stay cool, DC spray parks and splash pads will be open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and they will open all week long, along with the outdoor pools. And if you live in Southeast, keep in mind that the Fort Davis Community Center is closed for the summer. Also, the Fort Gribble Recreation Center in Southwest is temporarily closed to the public. With this week's extreme heat, it's helpful to have a plan to ensure that you stay safe, and you need to make sure that you're wearing cool and comfortable clothes when leaving the house, staying hydrated. Also very important, one doctor telling us the amount of water you need varies per person, but 2 liters or about 8.5 cups daily is a good number to aim for.
It depends on kind of your underlying health. I wouldn't say that there's an absolute number that you have to drink. You know, the more active you are, the more you're outside, the more water you'll need to take in. You know, 2 liters is always kind of a good place to start, but as you're, you know, if you're exercising outside, spending extended periods of time, that number would need to increase.
Well, drinking energy drinks with electrolytes can also be helpful in the heat, and just know that the loss of thirst can be an early sign of heat illness. Coming up on DC News Now at noon, high heat is impacting your medication. Top Doc shares the big problems you could face and how to protect your meds.
And we'll talk about not just the heat indices, but also some rain in the forecast. I'll let you know when that will arrive here to the DMV coming up.
All right, thank you, Scott. You're watching DC News Now at noon. Stick around. We'll be right back with more.